Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is Jersey, and today we are doing an incredible tour. I love this island, I love this design, and I love everything that we're gonna be seeing here today. I'm just so excited. So today we are visiting the island of Tortuga. So that's why you guys are hearing the music in the background, because it's just awesome. It's just incredibly great. So the creator of the island is Justin. He reached out to me, he wanted me to come visit, and here we are. So welcome to the island of Tortuga. And the one of the great things about this island that I think is so important to show and for you guys to take note is this is a small town, but it flows so well. And that's the main thing I want you to take, is how well this small town flows. So a lot of times we want to make big towns and have a lot of separation, but I want you guys to really look as we're walking, as we're discovering, as we're looking at all the details like we always do, but look how everything is together and how everything's close, but you got space to walk. But it's a small town. The actual town itself is small, and then we got some amazing builds that I can't wait to get there and to talk about, because it's truly amazing. But as we're walking, don't forget, you see those mailboxes? They're across the island. I think that's such a nice thing. I need to do that. I actually need to put more mailboxes across my town, across my island, because it is such a nice item that in my mind I haven't been able to think about. But okay, but here we are. We're gonna be walking this island. Is in a lot of the name is inspired by the Pirates of the Caribbean, and he has like the black pearl. That's gonna be really cool. He also wanted this feel of kind of like a mining town at the same time in the mountains, and kind of this kind of like a Pirates of the Caribbean port feel to it at the same time. So it's a mixed combination of a lot of stuff, and it's so great. But look at this. Look at this bridge. I like the brown tones that he's using with the colors of the flowers, and it's just incredible. The other thing that I know Justin mentioned that he wanted me to say is that this island is now in a revamp work. A lot of the stuff that you see is still pre-spring update. Slowly he's adding the new stuff from the spring update as he's getting them, as he's getting inspiration. So but it is so cool to see this, right? It's just amazing. And I like the different tiers. You see how we go from one level to another level, and then to another level, and then you look at this on the streets, and you got like these hallways, and they look so good because everything is in a distance that is good enough, but it's not so far away. And everything, I'm telling you, is one of those things that I know a lot of you are gonna love. A lot of you are gonna be like, yes, this is exactly kind of I want to do in my town, because I don't want to do a big town. I don't want that, And a lot of you love the small town, love the small feel of the town, and this is such a great town for that. Okay, so I was about to head that way. You see the sign, winery, but he's like, no, that's the showcase. That's the main build on this island, and it's such a good winery. But okay, so we're gonna continue. We're gonna walk, and I want you to take in all the designs, all the elements, all the flower, the arrangement is just so well done. How he's using the new flower boxes, because they're so tall that they work as fence. They also go so well with the stands. Like if you need to put something in between the stands and you don't wanna have an empty spot or right next to it, you can use this flower box. It kind of continues the flow, and it's just so great. So here he didn't have my shirt yet. He hasn't found it. I have one. I always carry one with me when I go to island tours, just in case. And there you go. He's gonna put my shirt in the display area, and it's just such a great honor. The people get excited about all the streamer shirts. It's because it's kind of like a collector's item, right? And it's so fun to collect them, to grab them, and just to have them on, right? Okay, so here we are, and we're gonna go to the next section, and I'm just taking everything in because I like the way everything is flowing. I like how the grass is not mowed. It's just natural, and all the flowers that are planted. And look at the brick boxes just to create this little area, and then the hedges. So this is kind of like a little section that divides to go to multiple areas. And I like how he uses the hedge arch just to create that little doorway, that little separation that you know it leads you to another area. And then he's using the lights behind the hedge just to give it a little framework, and it's so good. So he created like a little library outdoor section over here, and look at it. It's quaint, it's small, but it works so good. At the same time, it has space, right? It's not like it's just you come in and you're cramped. The character can actually walk around, and it feels really good. You know, I like that we're still using the old fountain, the brick one right here, you know, because we get excited. We start using all the new items, but it's nice to still see some of the old items, and it's nice, and it works perfectly here. But and then look at this. I really got excited about this. Look at this entrance for the museum. So you got the hedge arch, you got the flower, you got the brick boxes, but then you get this structure with the bridge, kind of like another archway. And you see how everything scales, right? You got the hedge, you got the light, then you got the bridge creating an archway, and then again you got flags, and then another flag way over there in front of the museum. So everything just flows. When you're looking at it, everything has a flow, everything has a vision, everything has a purpose, and I love that. I love that all the items are placed in such a way that it benefits the view, it benefits what you're looking at. And here we are, and look at this museum area. It's so beautiful, it's elegant. It's just the combination of the brick everywhere. It looks really good with the greenery. So you got your trees, and one of the things that we were talking when we got here, that he has the same feeling that I'm having. It's so hard to kind of update some areas when you really love them, but you know that they feel kind of old because of the new items and how we can revamp them. And I'm facing the same situation with my museum, you know, because it's kind of like, oh, I remember when I did that. It's like old school Dinkum. But I know I want to update it, but at the same time I don't want to. So that struggle, he's facing the same struggle that I'm facing, and it was such a great thing to talk about because we could relate to that feeling. But I still love this museum. I love how he has the stairs. You see the stairs coming from the side, from the front, and from the other side. I think that's really good. I like he's using all the cherry trees. Like, it's just good, you know, because right now, yes, we have the more fancy bushes, the lilies and all that, but this still gives a really great atmosphere, you know, to this area, and it matches the town completely. The tones, the greens, the purple, the yellow, the red, everything is just flows in this town, you know. The color matching, the copper fence looks so good right over here. It's just, again, fantastic. He knows what he's doing when it comes to item placement, color coordination, and I love this view. I like this bridge here, and then that you can see that other bridge, and it's so great. I just get excited when I see things like that. Like he's thinking ahead of time, and the design, and what things are gonna complement with each other. And again, another mailbox. I love seeing the mailbox across this town in just different corners. I need to do that. You have motivated me so much, Justin, to do that, to use the mailbox. I don't think I even crafted one just yet, so I need to get on it. I need to do it, and I need to find those key spots across both of my towns right now, because I think it's just going to add a little extra element into the island in our walks, and it's just going to be fantastic. So you guys take inspiration of that and add that too. Okay, so now we're in his orchard, and slowly, you see in the background, that's his winery. So we were getting too close, so at some point we're gonna leave this area because we don't want to see too much. But I like the way he did his orchard. I think it's really cool. It's all diagonal, and it just gives it something different, right? It's a whole different way to design an orchard. It's a different way to approach it. It doesn't have to be straight, doesn't have to be all so close together. I like that he divides it between walkways, and then at the same time he has all these flower boxes buried. And then look at this, guys, look at this. It's so good. I love that waterfall with the bridge just looking like that's so good. I need to do more stuff like that across my town. Again, the bridges leading towards the winery is so good, but he's like, no, don't go more that way because we don't want to spoil it. We want to leave that to the end. So the orchard is really good, really amazing. I like the centerpiece right there with the and it's just, you know, it's when you look at the designs that he has done in here, and what he's been able to put into his ideas and just put it into practice, you know. And it's so good because like you've been able to see, not all the areas are big, right? But they do feel open, they do feel spacious, and I think that's so important for us to be able to do that, you know. Not everything has to be crammed, you know. Not every spot has to be filled up, you know. And this is another example. I would say that this island is more like in the medium. It's not super full, but it's not super empty. It's right in between, and it's a good feeling. It's right in the middle, and I like that. I like that feeling. I like the taco box. Look at this. The taco box looks really great. It has a seating area. Look at all the kegs right over here, but then you can see the view of the museum at the same time. Magnificent. And this is something that I missed in the museum. I didn't see this. I like this little like walkways that he has. Like they're kind of like secret stairs or secret ways to get into another area. And then here is he has this little build area with all the crab traps that he's able to collect his keys, resources, and it just works out so great. But at the same time, it's in front of the taco box. And at the same time, you can think about it like, hey, this is how you get food for the taco box. Like, you know, you order seafood, they get their stuff right here. It's fresh, right out of the water. And it's that storytelling. All the storytelling that we do when we're creating, and I love that. I love that concept. I love, if you look at the behind the taco, look at the lattice fence, but then you see the hedges. It's all the detail, all the items, you know, just coffee table and just putting just a pot right there just to add more texture, just more something else, just to give depth into the area. And I love this dock. I love that bridge. You see how that bridge is that long like that? That looks so good, just across the water. Look at how long it is, and it's just beautiful. I love that, and you guys know I love that. I just love views like this. Look at this dock. You know, we got the fish showing that, you know, fishing that you can do here. Another fish in back there, but this, I love this idea. He painted this sailboat black. He's a big fan of the Pirates of the Caribbean movies. That's why he named his island Tortuga. So this is the Black Pearl. I think it's so good. It's so clever, and I like that he has that story. You know, that this is a port, in a way, this is a port for like pirates in many ways, and at the same time, it's kind of like a mining town as you go up the mountain. You know, so you are in the kind of like the coastal Caribbean. So it could be like a Caribbean island that leads into inside the island that takes you inside the mountains and all that, and that's just so good. You know, I was born in Puerto Rico. I understand that concept of islands, and islands have mountains and ranges and all of that, so it just works really well combining that. And hey, pirates, you know, James, pirate items, pirate stuff, I think that could be a cool thing. Summer pirates item, pirate swords, more pirate customs. We can make amazing thing with pirate stuff, you know, cannons and all of that. Hey, just throwing ideas, because I love the idea that we can maybe create more pirate islands, more pirate sections, you know, and I think it'd be fun as the community and playing together as pirates. I think it'd just be fantastic as an idea, right? But let's continue to talk about this amazing island that we're seeing, and look at again how he's using like dressers out here with top of the books just to give more texture, right? And I think that's just so good. And look at all the flower pots and the plants inside them, how he's using that. And I like that not everything has to have flower. Look at those rocks just sitting there by himself. Sometimes he just has dirt, just space of dirt in between two bushes. You don't need 3 bushes. And that makes me think more about even my own decorating, you know, the way sometimes I put so many bushes. Maybe I need to try and leave some places that are empty, that it doesn't have that. That way it feels maybe more organic. Maybe I like that look more when I start doing that. I love this. This is it's a bee farm, small, quaint, makes sense, but I love the steps. I love how you climb up, you get to the bee house, and you come down. I love that. It creates more elevation, right? It creates more movement in your island, and it just gives you that. It gives you that extra design, that extra step, height, low, you know, design, different color combination, texture to it. And then I like that there's another one on the other side, and it just works great. it's those ideas that we take from these islands, that we take from these island tours, and then we can apply it the way it could work in our islands, you know. And I'm excited because I know a lot of you are gonna love this. A lot of you are gonna be like, exactly, you see how small that is? That's what I needed. I needed a little section that I can add to my island, and I wanted a beehive, and this, it worked out great, right? And now you get inspired. And look at this area. Look at this barn. And I like that there's actually more water than land, right? Most of the time we make a little pond, but he made a big one. It's just more of a bigger one, and it looks good, you know. It's Justin. It's just truly Justin, listen, you did amazing. I just love the way your creativity, your design, you know, and it's that happy medium, and I love it, you know. I can see a lot of my style in here, but a lot of the style that I don't have is still here, you know, and it's inspiring me to try some of this style. And look at the combination. I never thought about putting the hedges and the cobblestone fence like this, and it's good. And then right behind it we got brick leading to another building that's a little high, and again, it's all that extra high, all that elevation. And this, again, you know, we know at some point I want to make a forest town, and again, this is another island that brings so much inspiration, so many great ideas for that town that I want to create. I'm just so honored that I'm being able to see all these places, so I can get that inspiration that is gonna help me, you know. And it's gonna be an island that's gonna be made because all the inspiration that it came from all of you guys, and it makes me so happy, you know. It truly does, because you guys are so creative, you know. You guys are just amazing. Everything that you guys have created, the way you guys think is so different and it's unique, you know, because all of you guys are completely unique people. All of you are just very individually creative and amazing in your own way, that when we go to your island, we see your pictures, it just blows my mind, you know, because there's so many things that I would not think of the way to do it, you know. And by seeing your creativity, by seeing your area, is so inspiring. And here we are again, you know. Look at this area. It's so good, you know. A little tractor just with a little roof, but then all the tools, everything that you would need, and it's just great. And I love this, all these passageways, you know. They're not 3 wide, these ones are 2 and 1. And again, look at this. Look at this view. It's just gorgeous, fantastic. I love it. I love all the green and the purple, everything just buried down. I like the centerpiece here, and I like all the flags around it, and then the stone lamps to give you that feel. And then look at this view. It's perfection. Look at that bandstand with all the trees. Justin, again, I'm mind blown, you know. I just love this so much. And then look at the greenhouse, and then I love what's coming up next, because he took inspiration from Ellie's Island, you know, because she had this tower that takes you up in the air so you can view your town, and it's just fantastic, and I can't wait to get there. It's right there. But look at this view too. Look at the windmill. Look at that. And we sat here talking, and I was telling him how much I admire this section, this view, the way he thinks, the way he thought out about the item placement, and just how the combinations of everything worked out. And we're waiting as the sunset goes down, because I want to start seeing now some of this area at night and enjoy it, you know, because at nighttime it brings another aspect of the town. It'll bring another way to appreciate the decoration. But this is amazing, you know. It's so exciting to see when people get motivated, get inspiration from truly another build, another island, another creator, another island tour. And Ellie, you inspired this. And Justin loved it so much that he recreated, he made it his own. And then we can have this view of his town. And look at this. Look at all the trees, the way they're placed, the way they kind of mix with the structure, and the way they hide some of the structure at the same time. And it's just a perfect balance. It truly is, because you can see through the town. You can see the houses, you can see the structure. It's not like it's overblown and just full of trees, right? But at the same time, it feels like it's this small town in the mountains. like just like he wanted. And I loved it. I loved it. I stood here, I took it in, and we were just talking again because I appreciate things like this, you know. Not everything has to be big, not everything has to be small. You know, is what's perfect for the creator. You know, it's what's perfect for them and their vision. And when you hear that vision, when you hear what they're creating and doing and just working towards, then you can appreciate you hear. And I just, again, Justin, you know, I'm honored, complete honor to be here, to be able to see this and to share it with everybody that's watching, you know, and listening and taking ideas, and they're taking those screenshots so they can apply it to their islands, you know. And it's just the design, but it's also the color combination, the item placement, and it's all of that. It's just the way you are using items, the way you are laying out your town, your foundation, and the ideas, you know. And like I said in the beginning, one of the things that I want everybody to take out of this town tour, out of this amazing island, is that this is a small area, you know, but it feels big, right? When you really look at the map and you look, if you really are walking it really fast, you get from one point to the other very quickly. But it feels spacious. It feels like you have all this space. And I don't know how you did it. I'm just truly amazed at how well this island flows from one section to another, and you have so many ways in and out from different areas that you can get to one area in multiple ways. And I love that, because that's something that I try to do a lot, you know. But here it just flows so perfectly and so well, and I love it. I love your helipad. The helipad is, I've seen that more and more, you know. More people are making those in different places, in different areas, and it's just great because it works so well, you know. And everything at night, it looks so good in here, you know. The greenhouse was fantastic with the layout, with the flower, with the way to multiply the flowers. And then they're small, but that's how you do it, and that's how you use it. And then this area, the bandstand area, and I know this is where you do a lot of your flower. This is where you do a lot of your flower growing, so you can grab them and use them in places. I know you're getting ready to revamp a lot of areas of your island to make them feel a little more newer, a little more updated with all the new items. But the design, the idea, the placement, you know, the different boxes there are. Some of them are berries, some of them are just a normal height level. You know, the way you use the hedges just for one square right over there, just one, you know, just to fill those gaps. It's a whole different take. It's a whole different approach. And it's truly, again, amazing. It's great to be here and to grab those inspiration, because there's so many things that I would not be thinking of, or I'd not be trying to do, because it's not something that I was thinking of. It's like that one square of the hedge, just there, just one sitting there, you know. It's, again, mind-blowing to me, because I didn't think about using it like that. And it's just amazing, you know. Again, those are the details. Those are sometimes of the things that I get truly excited. It's just seeing that detail. So here we were talking about, I like the bird bath, right? And he had that. But then we were talking about, what about if we use the new fountain that's just one square? It will fit here. It will give you that extra water movement. It will look really good. And he liked the idea, you know. And I told him that we don't have to put it in all four sides. We can put like just across and diagonal, one in one section, one in the other one, and keep two bird baths in the opposite sides. And I think that will work well too, because that way it's not all four fountains, but he may like the four fountains. So I'm curious to know, you know, Justin, once you finish watching this video, let me know what you did. Put it in the comments, because I kind of would like to know what exactly you ended up doing, or maybe you haven't got to it yet, and I don't know. But it's truly, you know, even if you don't do those changes, this section, the bandstand with all the flower, just kind of like a community garden, just kind of like a place where people can come, just take a break, look at the flowers, enjoy, a place where people can do activity, you know, to celebrate the year of your island. The Tortuga Day is gonna be amazing, you know. You got plenty of space for all the NPCs to enjoy, to come together, to have a great time. And I think that's what's important. To me, bandstands are becoming a very focal point in your towns, right? Because there is an activity, there is something going on, you know, and I like seeing how people are being more creative, being more just making the space because they know that the NPCs are gonna be here, and I love that. The other thing that I really like, that I really enjoy that you did here, Justin, is you extended the corners, right? Because you wanted your bandstand to be elevated, but then you know you had those corners that you can't do anything. But the way you extended it and to make it a little more farther, and then to add the extra steps in the front, I think it worked out so great because everything now flows, everything looks more natural. And then by putting the flags and the lights and all of that all around it just worked out so good, you know, and it takes care of that empty gap that it can look kind of awkward sometimes, you know. So in here, the way you did it, your approach was perfect, was excellent, and I loved it. I just truly did. So, and that's what I'm hoping more people, you know, they see this and they see like, oh, if I extended it, then I can fix that issue that I'm having. And that's why island tours are great. That's why we're here, to keep getting inspired, to find those inspirations that we need. Okay, so again, I was standing right here and I was looking at the view across the bridge, looking at the other bridge, again the tower, and then Justin was telling me that, you know how you in jet ski, if you go forward and you bounce like that, so the way he likes to park his jet ski is that if he's coming around, he goes this way and then he parks it backwards, because when he goes in reverse, it doesn't bump, it just boop, it just parks perfectly, and you don't have to like. And I thought that was so cool because I never noticed that if you go in reverse and you want to park it, it doesn't bounce once you hit something. So that's a great tip, guys. If you're having a trouble parking your jet skis because it keeps bouncing and you want to put it in such a way, do it in reverse. Going in reverse, once you hit something, it's not gonna bounce you forward. And I think that's great. And it's just a great and excellent tip. Okay, so here we are in his work area. Very heavy, very industrial. You can tell that he's very focused, working hard, building his island, great organization. And I like how he has all his light placement. This is again very unique. I like the way he has the work benches on both sides of this fountain. I think that's really great. I think it's something different as well. A lot of people, we do a lot of middle decorations, right? But he still included his benches, and I think that's great. I like the tone. I like everything about this work area. You know, work areas are very work heavy, you know, they're very similar in design, almost all of them, but everybody has something unique, a little bit unique, something different that brings their own, what makes you right, and into their working area. And this is, you can tell it matches the island, it matches the flow. You can tell this is Justin's area, and it's great. And again, look, mailbox, another mailbox. I just love that. I truly do. I like how you just have the diving helmet right over there. Again, look at the rock placement just in different areas, just scatter. It is great, and it just works so well, you know. And I like the stone lamps right here on the bridges. And I like how he extended the bridges just a little bit more to have that. And I want to try that on my island. I want to try that to add more light in my bridges, because sometimes when you're going across bridges, if they're long, they get kind of dark, right? Especially at night. So I like that idea. I'm going to take that idea and I'm going to try to apply it to my area, because I really like it. I just, you know, I seen people do that, and I need to try it because I think it's so smart and it's great, and it's amazing, truly. And just, again, those details. Sometimes I know I get too excited about the small details, right? It's just, I love them. Okay, so here we are. This is his house. This is his back area, and I love it. And I love, again, inspiration. We were talking about how he saw this in one of my first island tour, and this was from Leanne. Leanne, you brought inspiration to Justin because your island, to recreate this feel of a fireplace, the way the design works. And again, it's so amazing to hear that. It's so amazing to experience that with you guys, how you guys are talking and getting inspiration from one another. That's just amazing. Okay, so this is another great trick. So this is his house, right? And this is a quarry. So he watches this one, so he doesn't have to go to his area. And once it's full here, then he goes, because he knows all the other ones out there are gonna be just the same. So then he breaks them and he cleans that whole area, and then he lays it. So when he sees this one's full, then he knows it's time to harvest. And I thought that was so great, you know, because you don't have to keep checking. If you forget the dates, if you forget how many days it's been, you know, and it's great. And I thought that was such a good tip, such a great idea. So I just, again, I was like, oh my gosh, this is so good that I need to share that, because that's a great tip, you know. And maybe other people have thought about it, but I never thought about it. I never seen it like that. So this is why we're sharing it, because I thought that was just great. And I like his area, you know. His house is in his own kind of like his little island, little entrance. And again, I like how he uses all these combinations of wood, right? We go from brick to cement to gumwood to sometimes we go to dark wood, and it's the whole combination, and it flows, and he makes it work so well. I struggle, I truly do, with sometimes color coordinating, and because I know I'm picky, you know, and it is work. But look at this, I love that view towards the town. It's so good. Again, I like the way he has done the bridges and the placement, and what you can enjoy by just standing on a bridge and looking around either forward or sideways is just so good. Again, look at this little seating area, and you get to see the dock, the port area, and it's just, again, details, wonderfully made, amazing views. And again, and it's, look at this, it's not humongous like I do, but it's perfect. And he compared it to something that was natural, so he added it next to his house. And then you got rocks, you got some lily, but not everything is overflow, not everything is full, right? But it works so good. I love seeing your guys' waterfalls, your guys' design, because at the same time, you know, it's there's so many things that I haven't thought of. Like, look at those, the bushes, the wattle, and the red ones right there. I never thought about putting them across a waterfall, and I think it fills up more, you know, especially when you're trying to hide the dirt, right, in some corners, in some areas. This is great inspiration for me, you know, to keep thinking more outside the box, to keep thinking about other items that I can start using and placement across waterfalls, across rivers, across the ponds. And it's, again, I'm just excited. I like the way he did the rocks and the tiers and just all of that. And then I needed to see the top, because I wanted to see if he added like a little pool area where all this water is coming, and I thought that was gonna be like really good if he did. And I was so excited that he actually did, you know. And those are the details, you know. This little pool right here, it just helps to create the immersion, the illusion, you know. Not that you need it, because sometimes we don't have the space and you don't need it, you know. But I like that he had the space and he still added it. And it's just a little mountain, just a little elevation. You can see the different tiers, and I love that. You know, as the more I keep practicing, the more I keep trying to make more realistic waterfall, more forest style waterfalls. This is such great inspiration to see this, to see how he did it, to see how he incorporated everything, and then how he does his walkways around, you know. They're beautiful. And I like how he incorporated the little mushroom. It's not something that I use. Mushrooms are not one of my favorite items. It's not, that's why you don't see them. I don't use them, you know. But I like the way he used them, that is so minimal that they're there, but if you don't see them, you miss them. I like that. I like that little hint, just enough that they're there, that maybe that could be my approach. Maybe that's the way that I could actually add that into my islands, into my build. So I'm excited. And this is, again, details that made me think outside the box, another way to use items, you know, very minimal. And I love that. So again, I like showing these areas like this, because a lot of people don't know what to do with the tele towers, you know, especially when they're far away and they're not around. They could be in part of the ocean, so he actually had to build out part of this because it was underwater. So he built part of this, and I love this because a lot of people make them as just area that you just, you know, you go in and out, right? It's just a transport section. So he puts, some crates, some stuff, make it a little bit pretty. You could have some benches and seating area, and it works out great, And at the same time, it's not just hanging there in the water. And then he connected this bridge just for that, and I think that's great. It's again designing. It's just creating a story. You're just adding elements. But look at this view. I love this view. I love just the way this looks. Just coming off the bridge, you're standing here, you can see the black pearl right there, you can see Talker Box, and you start seeing the outline of your town, and that's great. And when I get to have views like this in towns, in islands, and that could be as simple as that one, could be as gorgeous as what we saw on Steph Island Tour. It's just the view, it's what captures your heart, when you're seeing that, when you're enjoying that. It's like in real life when you're traveling and then you see something and you just stare at it, and that's the feeling that I get. I truly get that when I'm here visiting, looking, and just exploring the island. And here's his quarry, very simple. This is just like a very simple mining, quarrying area. I know he mentioned he wants to do something eventually a little more elaborate, add something more to it in the future, but right now this is what it is, very simple. So and look at the mushroom lamp, the way he used them. They're actually good. They glow really well at night. So if you're a fan of the mushroom lamps, this is a good way to use them, in a quarry, in an area. But this is where he gets his resources, he's mining, and he's just way out here for now. It's something that he may want to update in the future. I think he has ideas, so I'm gonna be very excited to what he's gonna try to do in the future. But yeah, and then we're gonna do a little air tour, just a little flyby, because look at the size of the town. Again, this is the main takeaway. Again, this is not a big town, this is not a big island, right? But it flows. Two buildings together, space. Two buildings together, space. You got your town hall right in the middle. The dark tones looks really well. The way he's spreading things out. Cement over here. This type of trees over here. And the way you got waters and rivers, your bridges. Look at the orchard. Not big, not too small, but it's just a great size for this town. And that's why he's done so great. But now we come to his main event. His winery. And I was truly blown away. The concept, the design, the idea, and then when it comes at night, it looks really good, like really good, guys. But at the same time, once we get off of the helicopter and we get to the floor ground, then you're gonna notice the way everything in the winery is like all going in a different, in a specific direction, right? Very diagonal, and it's so good. It takes time, it takes planning, it takes preparation, but wow, it's just good because it is something different. And I know a lot of people are gonna love it. I know a lot of you are gonna want to do it just like this because it is good. It looks good in the map, it looks good as a design, and it's just amazing. But here we are, we're in the winery, and I was so excited because I love structures like this, and we were talking, and all of this came from a little inspiration from Benny. So Benny inspired Justin on a build that Benny did, and then Justin wanted to get inspiration from that and make something a little more unique, more of his style by taking inspiration from Benny. And this is where we are. And look at this. Tortuga Winery. And it's just gorgeous. The lettering are perfect. Look at that windmill right over there. And then look at this. The way he used the fences and everything feels like it's going diagonal. It's so good. And I know this takes time. It looks easy, but I know it's not easy. I know it takes planning. I know it takes, you gotta have it the right way and keep thinking in that diagonal aspect. Your pathing is all diagonal too. But once you do it all like that, then everything works. But then your main structure build is not diagonal, it's center. So I can just imagine like how your mind has to work to create like this. you know, because as you can see now the building look kind of crooked when I'm looking at this straight, but then if you look at the building straight, then everything looks diagonal. And it's that idea, that concept that is so good, that I really love. And then if you look at the mini map, look at that, you know, it looks so good. It looks so good in the map. It looks good in the real life. The way he uses the fences are really good. The lettering is really good. Love the name of this place. I like the windmill right there, just for a little bit more touch, just to give it a little bit more to the build, to the area, to the decorating. And that's truly, that's what makes some of these areas more unique. They stand out. It's that little extra detail, that little extra, just a little bit more. And again, look at the copper flower planters. They just blend, right? They blend, like you could walk and miss it. But then he's using ropes, fencing at the same time. And it's just, there's so many details, so many things that makes it, this area come alive, feel more. And then inside here, the structure, and then he put the campfire. So at night, you have this glow of the campfires, right? And this is where the Benny inspiration come from. He loved that idea to incorporate it to his winery. So he came, he did it, you know, Justin just took that idea, made it his own, added everything that else that he wanted. But then at night, you got this glow with the fire, with the smoke, and that movement, and just makes it feel so good. And then again, this is a winery, this is a tasting area, so you got your chairs, you got your main big tables, and yeah, and I can't wait so we can get more items. Maybe we can get fancy glasses, you know, like wine glasses that we can use and place. Just throwing more ideas again, you know, those type of items like that when we make builds like this, we can use it. Fancy silverware, fancy cups, fancy, you know, we can maybe have wine bottles, you know, empty, you know, just to place them. And that will bring even more of these ideas, more of these designs to life, you know. And that's why we do these tours, you know, because as we're doing the tours, we're getting inspiration, then we're getting ideas, then we get ideas for items that we can suggest, you know, because like I always say in all my videos, you never know who's watching, you never know who's listening. And I think it's always important to provide feedback as we continue to play this game, to provide those extra ideas and items that we may not think of. But when we go to places like this, those ideas comes, you know, like again, a wine bottle, you know, and maybe in different colors, so we can place them in different things. And then champagne glasses or wine glasses and all of that, you know, more crystal glasses, so we can use them, you know, and place them and stuff like that. And I think maybe a wine rack, you know, there's so many things that we can think about, because as the game continues to evolve and we continue to play this game and keep designing and keep using items to create amazing buildings, amazing structure in the world, Dinkum, then those extra items, as they come in the future, or any of the items that we get, we are able to use them and place them and just continue to grow this game, to grow the community. And that concept is so exciting. It truly is, you know. But okay, I gotta get back. Let me focus. So here we are, canoe rental. Great idea. And I love how we are using the signs. I've seen that more and more. The new sign to be able to write, that green one, is amazing. We're using it gray. Now imagine that same sign, but in black, in brown, in white. Just give us a different texture, a different color, and then we can incorporate that in more of our builds. I think it's just amazing, and the possibilities are endless. Truly is. I truly feel when we talk about Dinkum, when we talk about the items and all that, the future of this game, the possibilities are truly endless. Depending on the item, depending on what we get, depending on the updates, depending, you know, the same items that we have, but then we get them in all type different colors. That alone will just grows the inventory of items by so many, by so much, that then that same share that we only had it in brown, but now we have it in white, we have it in the different dark tones, then we can use that. And it's just to imagine what can come from Dinkum in the future. It's just amazing. But as we continue to walk the winery, look at this. Look at the kangaroo. All those are water boxes. Look at how beautiful that looks, with the bridge, the waterfall coming in, going down, and then we enter where all the wine is kept. This is so beautiful, so well done. Look at the flooring. It looks fantastic. It looks really good. Justin, again, you've done such amazing work in this island. Your island is just fantastic. I know so many people are gonna love this island because it's the right balance of somebody that wants to make something more minimal, something more smaller in scale, but they want to add all these great ideas, all these great places, all these great like builds, but they may not want to building as big as we do or other creators are doing. We want this feel that we have a full-fledged town but not as big, and then what you've done here is incredible. It truly is, because it captured that mentality, that heart that I know a lot of people want to do, and they get intimidated by how so many things are so big, and they don't know how to make them small. They don't know how to condense that idea. But I think this island is perfect. And also, you're motivating other people that feel that their islands are too small to do an island tour. No, because it's amazing what we can discover when we come to places like this, so I'm hoping because of this video, more people are going to reach out, more people are going to want to have their islands tour, because there's always so much to see, so many new ideas to be able to use and to just to be part of, and it's just an amazing time. And I can't wait to see what's going to happen and how many people are going to be inspired because of this island. But now, here we are, nighttime, to see the glow, to see how the fire and everything, and the composition, the lighting, and the structure that you did at night, how well it's done, how balanced the lighting is. It's just beautiful. It creates this warm atmosphere that is super inviting, that it wants to invite you to come in, to have fun, to just enjoy. This is a great stay. I can imagine in the background you make some buildings in the future, kind of like could be like cabins or something that people can actually stay the night here. Like, it's just so many amazing ideas that you are providing for all of us here, and look at this, look at the warmth. You can feel it, you can see how beautiful this place is, and it's gorgeous during the day or at night. It doesn't matter what time it is. It's just so beautiful, and I'm so thankful that I was able to walk it, that I was able to view it, that I'm able to share it with all of you, everybody that's watching, that's made it to this point, that has been enjoying this island. The island of Tortuga is just so great, and I'm just excited. But the best part is coming. We're gonna sit down now with Justin. We're gonna have a one-on-one interview, and it's gonna be just incredible to hear what he has to say about his island, his process, and his creativity. Alright guys, let's go. Alright guys, we just finished touring the island Tortuga. We are here sitting with Justin in the rain with the thunderstorm. Because why? Because we love Dinkum. So we are risking our lives sitting here under the umbrella. Okay, so Justin, how are you? How are you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic, Jersey. Thank you so much for coming to the island. It was a pleasure for having you here.
And thank you for having me, for letting me look around, to look at every detail. It's just to explore and to have great conversation with you today. It was so much fun. But okay, so usually my very first question that I like to ask is, why do you play Dinkum? What is about this game that keeps you here playing?
Well, Dinkum, I think, is a game that I've connected with more than probably any video game in recent years. I'm a university student. I'm actually a senior, graduating this upcoming December, so very busy. I have, things going on, an internship this summer, and I'm also married, so I have, lots of external responsibilities and lots of stresses. But Dinkum allows me to relax and just kind of turn my brain off for a second, but also still be creative and flex those creativity muscles, and just really enjoy the passage of time and not really have to think about anything else. It allows me to unwind and feel like I'm accomplishing something, but also get that crucial and precious relaxation time.
I can completely relate to that because I think something that Dinkum brings when we are designing and decorating is that aspect of, the realization. We're winding down in our day. A lot of times when I play Dinkum myself, it's late at night after work, and I get to sit down, I get to be creative, and I get to just start designing and working on something. And it's like you said, we flex those muscles so we can just be creative, and it's just wonderful. So in our conversations during the tour, I remember that you mentioned that you used to play a lot of Minecraft, and Minecraft was your to-go game. You did that a lot. So, but now you play more Dinkum than Minecraft. So what is the difference? Why are you playing more Dinkum than Minecraft? What is it about Dinkum that keeps you here compared with going back to Minecraft at this very moment?
That's a great question. So I've played Minecraft since basically in the beta 10 years ago, 10 plus years ago. I've played Minecraft for long, long time. But I have enjoyed Dinkum more recently because it doesn't require you to get so detailed. Minecraft requires that you place, craft, and shape every single block, and there's hundreds of millions of billions of blocks, right? So the opus of creativity, or like the burden of creativity, is a lot higher because if you just place a dirt block, that's all you get. Whereas Dinkum, it gives you a little bit more. You have, pre-made items, but you still have so much creative power. You don't necessarily have to, like, it sounds silly, but you don't have to think too hard. Like, you can still be very creative and you can still make beautiful things, but it's not as difficult to do so. And I feel like that the learning curve is not quite as steep to make beautiful things. Like, I would never be able to make, something which I feel matches the beauty of my particular island here in Dinkum in Minecraft as quickly as I did, if that makes sense.
That makes completely sense because in Minecraft we have to build everything. We have to create everything from our chairs to our tables, everything. With Dinkum, we got that ability that we have items that we can place, and they look different. So it does give you a little bit easier, a little more flexibility when it comes to decorating. And I think that's a lot of the parts that people truly enjoy is having these items that we can place and decorate it, and we don't have to craft everything. So I completely understand what you're trying to say and your point 100%. Okay, so the next question that to me is very important after walking your island is, and I know people want to create because I love your town. It's a small field town, and it's just great, the way you did it. So, how, what is your creative process when you were creating your town, and how you got your inspiration? Where did you grab your inspiration from? Because I love your town. It's compact, it's small, everything fits together, but at the same time it feels big, spacious. So it was a great way that you designed it. And I know people are curious. So, how did you make this happen?
That's an excellent question as well. So what you don't know is that I've started this island in a totally separate location. My first year or so of this island was spent almost perfectly central to my overall map, and I did not like the direction of where that was going. If you see on the map, there's like a very circular river that kind of creates its own mini island. Um, that's where I started my original town because I thought it was a nice central location. But I felt lacking in a direction. I just felt like I was kind of building what everybody else was building in Dinkum. And so that's when I decided to try to take my own spin on things, which is when I decided to inspire my town based off of, like we were talking about before, the 1840s gold rush towns of California, which is where I grew up, which is like a Western style, but in the mountains of a town. And I felt like, okay, well, I need to move my whole town south where all the pine forests are. And then I started terraforming. So I moved every single building south. I set up that main street like I showed you, where it's just two roads with the buildings on the side, which is very classic Midwestern town. And then I just kind of started sectioning things off from there. I wanted to keep it compact, but once I had that initial direction of this is the kind of town that I want to emulate, that's when I started looking at things like concept art online of what those towns look like. Even things as silly as like Disneyland has a somewhat of a Western style in some of their areas. Just inspiration from anywhere, and it helped me. It gave me that direction, and it gave me that. Okay, this is the quote unquote theme that I want to go after. with a lot of pine trees and some of the blackwood trees and some of the jacaranda trees, just to add to that forest feel. And I just ran with it, and ever since then, it's turned into what you see.
I love the idea how you got inspiration from concept art. Is something that I've not thought about. I go always and get, from the inner, real life picture, inspiration, real world, but concept art. I think that's just such a great idea, good way to get inspiration because it's so different, and there's so much more to look at.
Yeah.
So I truly love that idea. I'm gonna take a page of that because it's so cool.
I could not recommend it enough, and that's something that I have taken from my Minecraft days, is that if you go to Pinterest, Pinterest for whatever reason is the best place for concept art. You go and you look up whatever you're looking for, tropical town concept art, treehouse concept art, whatever, and you'll get all kinds of very creative, sometimes fantasy, sometimes realistic, but just so much inspiration from there, and it helped a lot.
Well, I'm definitely gonna be doing that. Okay, so the next question is, we're in the portion in the interview that I like to ask this one. That is, if what if you could tell James, the developer, something about this game, maybe something that you would like to see, something that you would like to add it, maybe a new mechanic, or maybe something that needs to be improved. What would that be for you as you continue to play and build in Dinkum? What would be your suggestion?
If I'm being perfectly honest, I think the game is excellent as is. I do have an answer, but as far as items go, mechanics go, James is an excellent developer in that sense. The things that he's added add a lot of depth and color and life to the world, and so I really have no complaints there. The one thing that I would personally like to see, we've discussed this a little bit so far, is optimizations for the game. I don't have the most powerful computer, and I know that a lot of people have less powerful computers than I do, and I feel like that right now the ability for the game to really only run well on very high end computers is somewhat limiting to the community. Whereas I feel like in the future, if there's some emphasis placed on optimizations for things like flower beds and machines and the ability can't, like the hotspots that we know where a lot of lag comes from, if emphasis is placed on optimizations and performance improvements for those, I feel like that will expand this to just a much, much greater range of people that can play and enjoy the game. That's really the only note that I have, is that I just hope that eventually it'll get a little bit easier to play on a wider range of devices.
Well, I know that's something that's important for James. I know that, when the full release comes, I know he wants to bring it to the consoles and to port it out to different places. So I know optimization is something important, and it's great, and I love that. I love to hear what would you like to see, because I am with you. I do believe that Dinkum is one of those games that can really keep growing. The community can keep growing and become one of the greats. Depending on how far James wants to take this game, I truly believe it. It can be one of the greatest games that has been out there for designing and playing.
It really is. This game is, like I said, it's near flawless in my mind. I think that the items that we have and just the things that we're already talking about for this future summer update won't be for a while, obviously, but just the fact that there's still so much passion and energy for this, it gives me a lot of faith and a lot of hope for the future of this game. I really am beyond excited.
I am too. I can't wait for future updates, the future content, what's gonna come in summer, what kind of items, what kind of update, maybe what kind of like games, just anything. Is a exciting time to be in Dinkum, because since we are on early access, playing it on early access, we get all these opportunities to discover the game. But Justin, I want to say thank you so much. Thank you so much for reaching out, for wanting me to come to this island to show it off, because it's such a beautiful place, such a wonderful town, and it's just perfect in size. The way you have created, the way you have developed this area, that that is just amazing, and I can't wait to see your future content. What else are you gonna do, and to be back one day and to see the growth of your island. So thank you so much, Justin, for having me.
Thank you, Jersey. I really appreciate you coming, and again, You're welcome anytime.